So, Tim Tebow versus Colin Kaepernick, coming right on. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense Logic Reason, and as always, I'm going to say thank y'all for joining me today. So we know that, well, I have a saying when it comes down to these race hustlers, never let an opportunity go to waste in which you can hustle race. And this plays right along with the leftist ideology of never let an opportunity go to waste. When an opportunity happens that you can use to push your agenda, never let it go to waste. Well, in that regard, these race hustlers never disappoint because they're always looking for racism, under every bush, around every corner, in every ocean, river, or stream, or lake. If there's racism there, they're going to go look for it and find it. And they have to do this because they have to push their agenda. They have to keep pushing race, have to keep black folks angry and rage over race. And if they stop doing it, the drug is going to wear off. So you have to keep administering that drug so that people don't kick the habit. Black folks don't kick the race habit. Anyway, so what is the latest thing that they're crying about? Well, that's Tim Tebow. As we know, Tim Tebow signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and everybody, the usual suspects, they're all up in arms saying that this is racism. They found another thing they can cry racism about, that it's unfair that Tim Tebow get a shot in the NFL and Colin Kaepernick didn't. Now, is this the same thing? Is it racism? No, not even remotely close to being the same. First of all, let's look at Tim Tebow's whole story. Tim Tebow was one of the best college players to come out, one of the most highly touted. He played at the University of Florida, and he won, 2 national championships there. He basically went to the league. He was drafted by the Broncos, and many people thought that he wouldn't work out. I was one of the people who believed that he wouldn't work as a quarterback, and as it turned out, we were right. He didn't. Well, he was hell-bent on being a QB in the league, but nobody would sign him as a QB because his skill set just didn't translate into the NFL. So he left the league. He tried his hand at several different things, and even Sean Payton attempted to sign him to play that gadget role that Taysom Hill is playing now. But he refused because he wanted to be a quarterback, so he left the league. Well, Urban Meyer, his college coach in Florida, was basically the head coach of Jacksonville Jaguars now, and Tim Tebow is from Jacksonville, so he signed on as a tight end, and everybody's saying that's racist. Now let's look at Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick was one of these pro-blacks who grew up in a white area with a white family who adopted him. But he was the starting quarterback of the 49ers, and he basically started taking a knee over alleged police injustice that they never give evidence of police injustice, something that they always say but never prove, based upon stories here and there in the media that the media hypes and perpetuates. Well, he took a knee. People didn't like that. The 49ers basically cut him, and no other team would sign him. Now, everybody was saying that he was being blackballed because if he took a stance for black people. And in reality, as I said back then, if Colin Kaepernick has the right to protest, then he can be protested. And if teams didn't want to sign him because of all of that mess, that's their right to do so. And the fact is that his skill set just didn't translate to all teams. He was a read option quarterback. And everybody kept saying, well, there are not 32 teams in the league that are better than him. Well, 32 teams that want him because of his skill set, that's the question. And did his skill set override all the distraction that he was going to bring? And I say no. I mean, not very many teams even today run a read option. So Colin Kaepernick didn't have his opportunities though, because there were 2 teams that wanted to sign him, that wanted to give him a tryout. Then he hosted a tryout. There was a tryout hosted for him to other teams in the league to show up. He wasn't serious about that. And now he's somewhere probably making more money being a social justice warrior than playing in the NFL. Now they say that it's racist because he didn't get a shot. Obviously, it's not the same. He had his chances and he didn't take it. Now, would Colin Kaepernick sign on as a gadget player like Tim Tebow is probably going to be? And then we can thank Sean Payton and Taysom Hill for that, because that's the role that he's probably going to be looking at besides tight end. Will Colin Kaepernick do that? No. Colin Kaepernick is somewhere being too busy being a social justice warrior. But this is not even remotely close to being the same. Tim Tebow swallowed his pride, signed on as a tight end. Would Colin Kaepernick do the same? Probably not. Again, this is not the same. How people keep trying to draw race out of this is beyond me. But I've been saying this, that eventually that race card is going to be null and void. Black people is keep pulling and swiping that card so much that there's going to come a point in time when they try to swipe that race card to purchase something, people are going to pull out their scissors and shred it up. Because it's long past ridiculous that black people need to stop with this damn victimhood. And it makes me, you got to say, like I said, the same usual suspects, all of these pro-blacks, loud and proud, on ESPN, all these analysts, they're on ESPN, speaking their views, crying about all this racism and black people being disenfranchised, but you are speaking your view as loud and proud, openly on national TV, and you are being discriminated against, being oppressed. I mean, it's ridiculous. Then you have the low key, all the low key race hustlers out there. But again, this is not the same. There's no way, shape, or form can you make a comparison between Tim Tebow's situation and Colin Kaepernick's situation. This is just another example of these race hustlers finding something to cry race about. And when this is true, they'll be looking for the next thing. That's just how it is. That's how it is with the left. They're all emotional. They're not factual, and they don't stand firm on any real point. And as soon as something is up there or over, they're looking for the new race hustle, and that's what it is. You know, there's always going to be something that they're going to cry racism about if you let them do it. And as of now, society has been allowed it. But as I say, it's going to be a point in time where people are not going to hit a race card. Calling someone a racist is not going to net you the same result that it has. If you keep swiping it, if you keep printing up money is not going to have the same value. You're going to have inflation, which we are going to be running into inflation because of all these stimulus checks. But anyway, Colin Kaepernick and Tim Tebow is not the same situation. Cap had his chances. He didn't want it, and he played around. End of story. Anyway, y'all, that's my 2 cents on it. If anyone thinks different, obviously blacks will still be crying racism only because they're allowed to do so. But anyway, y'all, as always, until next time.